Every month, Elias earned enough to live comfortably. Yet somehow, his paycheck disappeared before he could build anything for himself. He was working hard, earning decent money, and doing everything he thought he was supposed to do. But his bank account never seemed to grow. The problem wasn't his income. It was one habit he didn't have, a habit used by many of the world's most successful people to turn a standard salary into lasting financial security. 5 years ago, Elias was living in a modest apartment in the city, working a marketing job he liked but didn't love. He felt like he was running on a financial treadmill, moving fast but staying in the exact same place. Every time he felt he was getting ahead, a new bill or a necessary expense would pull him back to zero. He lived with a constant low-level anxiety that one bad month could ruin everything. One evening, Elias sat down with a mentor, a retired business owner named Marcus. Elias expected Marcus to talk about complex stock strategies or high-risk business ventures. Instead, Marcus asked one simple question. Elias, who is the first person you pay when your paycheck hits your account? Elias didn't even have to think. The landlord, the utility companies, the grocery store. Marcus shook his head. That's why you're stuck. You're paying everyone else for the privilege of living your life, but you aren't paying the person responsible for building your future. You aren't paying yourself. That conversation changed everything. Marcus wasn't talking about saving what's left over. He was talking about a system of intentional automation. The habit was simple. Treat your future self like your most important, non-negotiable bill. Following Marcus's lead, Elias set up a simple two-step system. First, he automated a small percentage of his paycheck into a separate account. This became his peace of mind fund. Once that fund could cover several months of essential expenses, the automation was redirected toward long-term investments. It wasn't a choice he had to make every month. It was a system that ran quietly in the background of his life. The first few months required a shift. Elias had to become more intentional with his daily spending, skipping a few impulse purchases and cooking more often. But within 60 days, something strange happened. His brain adapted to the new zero. He stopped missing the money because he never saw it sitting in his main account to begin with. Then, the system was put to the test. Elias's car transmission failed. In the past, a $2,000 repair would have meant high-interest credit card debt and months of stress. But this time, his automation had been working quietly in the background. He had the cushion. He covered the repair from his emergency fund without touching his long-term investments. And then he moved on with his life. A year later, the real challenge arrived. Elias received a significant promotion. For the first time, he could afford the lifestyle he used to dream about. A luxury apartment with a view, a newer, faster car, expensive dinners every weekend. For a moment, he convinced himself he had earned all of it, that it was finally time to live a little. But Marcus had taught him something more valuable than how to earn more. He had taught him how to keep more. Elias realized that increasing his lifestyle to match his income was just a faster treadmill. So, instead of upgrading his car, he upgraded his automation. He kept his living standards steady and watched his investment accounts accelerate. As the years passed, the power of consistency took over. Elias stayed in his career, but his relationship with work changed. He wasn't working out of desperation anymore. He was working out of choice. 5 years later, Elias still wasn't rich by celebrity standards, but he had something he never had before. Options. He had a solid emergency cushion, growing investments, and enough financial breathing room to say no to work he didn't want. Eventually, he transitioned into freelance consulting, taking on only the projects that genuinely interested him. He wasn't chasing a paycheck anymore, he was managing his freedom. And that was the real lesson. Wealth isn't built in one dramatic decision. It's built quietly, paycheck after paycheck, through systems you don't have to think about. It's about realizing that if you wait until the end of the month to see what's left, the answer will almost always be nothing. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. The story and characters are fictionalized for storytelling purposes. Financial strategies may not be suitable for everyone. Consider your own financial situation and risk tolerance, and consult a qualified financial professional before making investment decisions. Past performance does not guarantee future results. So when your next paycheck arrives, ask yourself one question. Who gets paid first, you or everyone else? Because 5 years from now, that answer could determine how much freedom you have. Start small, automate it, and let consistency do the heavy lifting.